All right, what is good, YouTube? Today we are going to be making a satchel, and I already have the pieces cut out, but I will take y'all step by step of how I did so. So I cut out a leather strip, and this strip is sitting about 16 3/4, and it's 2 inches wide. So 16 3/4 by 2. So that's the sizing of this. And we have this piece right here. All I did was cut out a square from the hide. And then I kind of aligned it just like this to the shape of what I wanted. And so when I got the shape that I wanted, I got an owl. And then all I did was trace it. So to the desired shape that you want. If you want it more oval or more wide, you could do however you want. And if you gotta, have other things to stabilize it and keep it in position, then obviously do so. But I'm just gonna have this more of an oval shape. And so when I traced it, I went ahead and I got the compass and probably did a little bit wider of where I'm going to put the stitches at. So I would say this is about a quarter wide, and then all I did was trace that line all the way around. And mind you, this is still a square piece, so I did that all the way around, and then I got my blade and I went ahead and cut out the outlayer, and then I got the piece that I wanted, which was this. I put it on another square piece of leather, and I got my awl again, and then I just traced it and then cut it. So that is what it's looking like right now, and you can see where the stitches will go. So I left just enough room where the stitches will be, where I'm going to punch the holes. And right now, I don't know if I'm going to have this on the outside, which more than likely I will. So now I'm getting my compass, and since it's about a quarter inch, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm just marking my line of where I'm going to punch the holes. Easy like that. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'll run this straight down. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be punching the holes in between this area. I know I probably said that already 1,000 times, but all right, so let's go ahead and punch holes. I'm gonna get these even, and I am going to just make marks. All right, so I just made my marks. I'm about to punch this leather strip all the way down, and then soon I will punch this, and then I'll stay in between the quarter inch of what we had marked. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing with this one on this opposite side, and then I'll go ahead and stitch everything up. So. This is what I have so far. I have no clue what type of stitch I'm doing. I just saw this guy do it. But here, I'll show you. So I'm just pulling, all I'm doing is lining up the holes, pulling it through, I'm making sure everything's tight. And so I'm pulling it all the way through. And then from here, the one that I just pulled through, I place it over the one that I'm about to push through. And so it's this string, I pull it upwards and I go right beneath it. See how I'm right beneath it? And then once I see the needle tip, I go ahead and pull on this string and I pull on the needle as well, and it brings that other side through, and I just make sure it's out of the way. And then from here, I just pull as tight as I can, or just slightly as tight as I can. And then whenever I just pull this one through, I repeat the same process. I go back through, I pull it through, I place this one over. You could either place it over or you could just go under, and I've been going under. I'm pulling that one that I pulled through upwards, trying to see the light go through the hole. Once I get that tip through, here I am pulling the one that I just pulled through, and I'm pulling it at the same time. All right, kind of ran into an issue. So this side's shorter. How I'm starting off on this is I go once through the hole at the very top. Just make sure I get even. It's almost like a saddle stitch. The way that you're setting up. And then all I do from here is go from the outside to the inside. Pull it through, push it over, or push it up. I grab that one that I just did, pull it up, bring it all the way through. I mean, that's how I started off. Seems just fine. And then from the one that I just pulled through, I'm pushing it back in, pulling it through, and then going in that same hole. And that's how you get started. All right, so right now I'm making the piece, and so all I did was I had a bigger piece, and I just matched it up. And once I got the holes where I wanted it, all I did was like mark it out with an awl right here, because I'm gonna stitch it right here. And obviously I'll hit the hole with it too, but so yep. I mean. Alright guys, so I finally got this strip on there. And it's going to be covered anyways because I'm going to have a strap running over here because it's going to be on the crossbody. So, I mean, you won't be able to tell at all, so that's going to be stitched anyways. But, man, I'm so happy I'm done with this. This is my first time, even making this, so. But yeah, man, this is it so far. Freaking took me forever. And I did mess up. So if you haven't noticed, the stitching, or I should say the strap, is on the outside of this one. So you see how the strap's on the outside? And I put the strap on the inside on this face. So it's like, I guess you got two different ways of like what I could do next time. I kind of like the strap being on the outside. It looks better than the face being on the outside. But I mean, you learn from your mistakes, don't you? But yeah, this is it so far. I'm done. All right, so I wasn't able to show y'all after I had drilled the 2 holes right here. And instead of, I know I had 2 strings running right here, but I ended up just doing 1 string, and I wasn't gonna tie it at the top, so I just ended up knocking these off, or tying knots on these. And how I did this was I just lined up the horn where I wanted it to be on the flat, and then I just marked it with an awl, and then I just cut me another little sliver of the string, and I just tied the knot right there. And that's how I was able to get this horn on here, the tip of the deer antler, I should say, and boom. But now we're going to make the strap.